Welcome back, you beautiful Bravehearts, and I do mean that. I hope you had the best weekend of your life. The smoke is gone, the sun is out. Oh, was it ever smoky here? But we had rain over the weekend, and today I'm actually going to go out on the lake a little bit with my family. I've got a few of my family visiting with me, but today I've got Peter Webb visiting with me live online, and we're going to be talking about radionics, okay? But we're not going to be just talking about radionics. We're going to be talking about how radionics can actually neutralize EMF, 5G, Wi-Fi, smart meters, okay, better than anything else that we know. Because, and understand something, we are frequency, electrical, magnetic beings. And guess what? Everything you eat, everything you drink leaves the body. The only thing that ever stayed behind was the frequency. Isn't it kind of crazy that a frequency created this whole body? I know what you thought. You thought that all that food that you were eating and just pumping it back into you, you thought that created this. Okay? So people say that you need amino acids, right, to build muscles. But you need the frequency that's in amino acids to create muscles. See, nobody understands that. So people think, oh, well, the more I eat, the bigger I'm going to get. Well, to a degree, that's true, you know, because that'll happen. But it's all about frequencies. You're putting that same frequency in. And remember something, it's like Einstein stated, E equals mc squared. So energy creates mass. And if you were to put a log in the fire, you burn something, you have a release of energy. Okay, when we pass on from this planet, energy never dies, does it? The spirit leaves the body, it doesn't die. It's the rule of the universe, but the body will decompose, and that's matter. So understand, matter does not create life, okay? It's the frequency that creates life or will take it away. Okay, so you know, and I know Peter's not going to probably talk about this, but you know, it's like this. There's an elite force that's always controlled the planet since the beginning of time. And I don't know how they got their hands on this or what deal they made. But the reality is they use things like 2G, 3G, 4G, now 5G, okay, and they use blue light, okay, and they use toxic chemicals to just basically keep the population down and keep everybody sick and dumbed down. What if you actually discovered your authentic self, the genius within? Well, guess what? We take our world back. There's 7 billion of us, and there's probably only around, you know, maybe, who knows, 20,000, 30,000 of them. But the reality is they're smart enough to strategize, and we don't realize that we only use 10% of our brain. That's right. God only knows why that happened. But the reality is they've learned how to program that 10% of our brain and keep us enslaved. So now they're going to use blue light and they're going to use 5G to bring down the population and to bring down our health, so it brings up their wealth. So understand this. Nobody realizes how toxic this stuff really is. So the invisible is the most powerful in destroying life or creating life. Okay, welcome to the show. Hey, Peter, what do you think?
Well, that's all very true. And we've been working with radionics for over 40 years, and it is definitely all frequencies. The radionics machine has a series of dials that they're like tuning forks on tuning a radio, and you tune into a frequency, and then you can send it to wherever you want. So when we want to eradicate something, we will find the frequency of that. And then with the radionics, we take the dial settings and reverse them. One is in phase and one is out of phase. So we go out of phase, you broadcast that, it'll take toxins out of water, air, the human body.
Can you tell them about India? Do you mind telling them about what you did in India with the lake? The fish wouldn't grow, nothing would even grow in it. Yeah. Can you tell them? And guess what? Peter didn't even leave. He was even in his underwear when he did this, right, Peter? Okay.
Well, that's true. Well, yeah, we were approached by India to clean a lake called Hassan Sagar. It's in Hyderabad. It's an area, and it was so polluted that the fecal matter was on top of the water. The lake was 4,000 acres. There was 58 million liters of raw sewage a day going into it. So they tried every technology to clean this lake, which could have been very expensive, but with radionics, we went in and we broadcast.
Well, you didn't go in; you stayed home in Canada.
We stayed home in Canada, and then we broadcast the frequencies into the lake of oxygen, hydrogen, and even very positive, negative, because we want to balance everything. So we did this, and in nature, the oxygen will only stay within maybe the top 2 to 3 feet of water. But with radionics, you can put the oxygen right onto the bottom of the lake and clean up all of the heavy metals, toxins, and everything else on that lake. So this is what we did. We broadcast 24 hours a day, and the water when we started was brown. And as we started getting more oxygen in, the water started getting lighter and lighter, and eventually at the end it was clean. The smell was so bad that they had a religious place. They had a big Buddha on a little island in this lake. It was like a recreation, like Disneyland in a way, is what it was. Yeah, so the smell from the lake was just, people couldn't go there, and even people driving around lake were being suffocated by the smell. So within a short period of time, we had the lake clean, and then all of a sudden there were birds coming on the lake. Ducks and coots and all different species of birds start coming in, and people are then out in sailing boats and rowboats and all kinds of boats on the lake, canoeing around. So yeah, we kept that lake pristine clean. It was, we kept it that way for a full year, and then we ended our trial. But again, money is the driving force, and they didn't want to pay for it, so we just pulled out of it. But we've done other lakes around the world, and what we learned to have healthy water is the water has to roll. So with radionics, we are able to create the water to roll, and this is where the water is like a wave. It takes the oxygen from the top, and it rolls down to the bottom, and then it picks everything on the bottom and brings it up. So yeah, so, and we've done other things in some of it has been done for the military that we can't talk about. But no, we've done a lot of work around the world, and we still are. When I get calls from people in Mexico wanting soil analysis done where we have one of our revitalizer boxes, it's all done from my office. I don't have to go down there to tell them how much oxygen is in the soil and water, how much carbon, the vitality of the soil, the phosphorus, the nitrates, but potassium. I do that all from home.
Hey, Peter.
Yeah.
So anyways, I have a vitalizer. So when I get down there, we're going to be starting I'm moving, right? In 2 weeks to stop a World Healing Training Palace. Well, anyways, so what's happening is we're going to be making a couple acre garden right in the actual where everybody's living, and so we're going to be putting that in there. So we're going to want you to get that started for us as soon as possible. We're going to, okay?
Yeah. No problem.
Hey, listen, I had a question from somebody, and everybody, you can send in your questions if you want, so we'll talk, and I'll keep watching the phone here. I got the phone here. Right here's the phone. And but I did have a question come in, Peter, and this person works with biofeedback, and they said, has Peter ever had to deal with people thinking that radionics is voodoo or some kind of evil force? Like, do people ever comment to you that you're dealing with voodoo?
Yeah, in the early stages when we were doing farms, they were they thought it was a little off, but so after we started treating their we were doing mostly the livestock at that time. And it wasn't long before they were starting to tell their neighbors, and the word spread that this stuff isn't voodoo, it actually works. And particularly now where we are doing the carbon sequestering with radionics, we're getting tremendous crops. Like I had a farmer call me last week that has soybeans up to his shoulders. Well, those soybeans are almost 6 feet high. That's unheard of. And of course, the crazy thing about radionics, it puts a frequency in that attracts. If you want to bring in carbon, you can attract carbon, and the life in the soil actually responds to it. And this brings me to another problem that we're running into now with humans and animals, is funguses in. Even you get a live blood analysis, somebody doing live blood analysis, and they look at the blood and they said, your blood's full of funguses. Well, fungi in the soil are performing a function in the soil, which is very important to the health of the soil. But because of all the chemicals used in modern day agriculture, the fungi is pretty well extinct. But there were fungi in the soil that would protect the plant from these funguses growing on the leaves. And so we came up with frequencies to eliminate the funguses in our bodies, because the plants, it's not in the soil anymore. And this brings me back to another part of what we're talking about. The soil is becoming so depleted in nutrients and vitamins and amino acids and trace minerals, everything, that the food we get has not got these elements in it. The food we have are pretty much devoid of nutrition in this, whereas we're heading into a period now, if we want to stay healthy, we do have to use supplements to supplement what we're not getting out of the food.
Okay. But
yeah.
Peter, if I can say something, if you don't mind. So everybody, I want you to get this, okay? So don't tell me that there's not some group that are undermining everything, because listen to me, loving humans, okay? Loving human beings, all right? They'll lie, sometimes they'll cheat, sometimes they'll steal, but they won't undermine the soil and totally deplete it of its microorganisms and minerals and all those cofactors, and then put poisons in there unless they were out to actually bring down the quality of life and the lifespan of everybody else. So this is why we do what we do. This is why I brought in Peter. This is why I wear a bodyguard, everybody, because we're going to talk about these things in a little bit here, but I want to set the pace. This bodyguard, Peter, how far will this bodyguard actually protect? But before you answer that, I hope you know, everyone, this bodyguard has infinite iodine frequency in it. It's got most of my powerful supplements in it. It's got a lot of emotional things like unconditional love in there. He's got like frequencies of all sorts. And then people are going to go, oh my God, now, Dr. Wolf, you've gone too far. You've gone too far. But remember something. Before you ever became a physical body, you were a spirit being, and then you got infused into your mother's womb. So don't tell me that we are not light energy, electrical magnetic beings, when the light from the sun and the frequency from the sun, if it wasn't there, we wouldn't be here. So listen, open up your minds, open up your hearts, and understand that your potential, okay, on this planet demands that you open your mind up and become what you were meant to become, a creator. But you can't create if you don't understand that it's all about light energy frequency. So the bodyguard, how far out will it work around me for against like EMF, blue light?
Yeah, 20 feet all around your body, above your head and below your feet. So it's like a bubble 40 feet around.
Okay.
Across. So,
and then the protector for the house.
That's 200 feet out in all directions, so that's covering a circle 400 feet across.
Okay, and then what about the guardian for your garden?
That's doing up to 80 acres of land, 80 to 100 acres.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And then what about not the protector, but the defender.
Defender, it's doing the same thing, but here again with radionics, it will only stay on the property where the person is using it. It won't go onto other people's property.
So this will do like a large hospital, school, church, factory.
We just, 2 weeks ago, we put one into a 400-room hotel in Toronto, and it's doing that whole hotel. Now, yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say, these are all the different colors of the bodyguards.
Yeah.
You can see them online, everybody. And we have small ones for children and pets. Go figure, right? And just so everybody know, this week is the Doc of Detox birthday sale. And we have this and a whole bunch of other energy medicine on for sale as well. I'll let you just go take a look at that, everybody, if you decide you want to. Peter, take it away.
Yeah, we were doing some work this summer, and I put the frequencies of pheromones into everything. Now, as people, we all give off odors. Like this is how animals, when the mating season comes, they track down the smell, and that's how they work. So I put these pheromones in, and we had a number of basswood trees in our backyard that were in full bloom. And I'd never seen so many wild bees. As every variety, it was just a buzzing. These bees come for miles to pollinate those flowers because we had got the pheromones in them. This applies, we have an apple tree that has so many apples on it. It's bare, it's hanging down because of the weight of all the apples on it. So as far as getting bigger crops in the fruit industry in particular, this technology is just a godsend for growers to be able to attract the bees, and we don't depend only on the honeybee. There are so many wild bees that are much more efficient, and they're doing a great job of pollinating. So again, these pheromones, they are odors that we release, and animals release, and plants, and so that's one of the things we can do radionically. But yeah, as I was talking to you earlier, Daryl, about I was diagnosed with hypothyroid, and I dosed my thyroid was at 1, and so the doctor, he put me on a enzyme, and it took my thyroid to 4. That's where it ended. So then I took a radionics machine, and I set one dial on iodine from the manual, and then another one from the periodic table of elements. I put those frequencies in the machine, and then I put the infinite iodine on the plate on that machine and broadcast it. And in 5 hours, my thyroid was at 10. It was as high as it could go. So that's where radionics come in. It's amazing for supporting whatever you put in your body in the form of nutrition. Now, we are putting in now prebiotics, probiotics, enzymes, digestive enzymes, and all kinds of elements to help the life in our digestive systems, because without a healthy biome in our bodies, we can't survive. So with radionics, it can support, all those functions that are necessary for us to remain healthy and vibrant.
Absolutely, and everybody, you need to get this. Why is it that they're trying to kill all the? Why are they trying to kill all the microbes in the soil? And then why are they so antibiotic crazy? And they've been that way for the last 75 years. And so now we have no resistance anymore. So everybody, wake up! It's time to wake up. I've got a question here. Let me see if I can find it right now from, I think it was Marlene. 1 second. Yeah, Marlene. Peter, I have a question about the Guardian Crystal. Where I live, my favorite man-made lake has blue-green algae. So can I clear the algae Bear with me, everyone. So can I clear the algae with my Guardian?
Yes, very, very much so. The blue-green algae is anaerobic, and it does harm to the lake. It does harm to our bodies if it's anaerobic. It's a fermenter. So by infusing the oxygen into the water, which all our products put oxygen into the water, the soil, the plants, our bodies, it'll put oxygen in that lake, and it again will start the water in that lake rolling, and you'll see it will clean up very quickly, and you'll have frogs and all kinds of birds come into the water, into the lake. Yeah, so that's a really good. Now, as we moved along, we found that 5G was also interfering with oxygen, so we had to come up with a new approach with radionics to get a different oxygen. And we were running, but in a normal environment, it's around 10 parts per million in the atmosphere, whether it's in your yard or your home. So we went to 15. Now we've gone to 30 parts per million of oxygen. And it's again, it's like the iodine. The instead of the bubbles being big, the bubbles are getting smaller and smaller to become more effective. They can move in and out of cells of the life in the water and the plants, and it stimulates the growth of all kinds of water plants. If you your pond, if you got lilies in it and that kind of thing, it helps them to absorb more oxygen from the air and remove toxins from the water. So yeah, it's just, yeah, it's going to do a wonderful job. And of course, it's going to bring in carbon into the soil again. And carbon picks up all of the heavy metals that are in the bottom and carry them down out of sight. We have the Guardian now in feed mills they're using it to remove the molds and funguses out of the grain in the elevators before it's made into feed for poultry and hogs and dairy.
So the Guardian is mainly for things, everybody, like crops, gardens, animals, things of that nature.
Yeah, anything living, it's what it's for. Yeah.
Yes.
And the Defender is because of the blue. That's the color of oxygen. It is actually putting more oxygen into the environment, as well as blocking the 5G and 4G and all the other man-made frequencies. I'll give you another interesting thing that we've done. We came up with a way of getting frequencies to hold the wiring has electrical field on it, and it's outside of the wiring, and that's part of the problem. It gets into your home. So we've now got frequencies in to hold that magnetic field in the wiring, and it actually reduces the amount of electricity. Well, you're not losing electricity by it leaking out of the wiring, so it reduces your electrical use by holding it in the wire. It may sound a little technical, but that's the way we create it with frequencies.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Jana wants to know, I would like to ask if there is a possibility, I don't know about this one, to change all the evil frequencies, vibrations from injections and shedding into neutral or healing frequencies, and how to unlock the cut off souls after injections. Thank you.
Well, we know we've been looking at this, and of course, the first thing we had to deal with was the prions, which we came up with a method of removing the prions, and then the spike protein, which we know that you're not expelling them from the body. The latest thing we've had to do is trying to say the word here, graphite oxide, which is another heavy metal that's being sprayed into through the chemtrails into our environment. And we've been able to come up with a frequency to remove that from your environment as well as your body and plants. Because I was doing checking in our refrigerator and I was finding graphene oxide in all the foods that was in there. So we, with the home protector, the guardian or defender, they are cleaning the graphene out of the food in your refrigerator, so it makes everything healthier. And but as far as going into dealing, I know we've just put in frequencies. Let's see. Okay, yeah. Anyway, yeah.
It's okay, Peter.
The immune support, right?
Right. Okay. Good. Immune support.
Yeah.
I just got a couple things. People want to know. Rocky wants to know. I'm new to here. Rocky, go to store.docofdetox.com. Okay. They want to know. Yeah, all the Crystal Life products are on sale. The Avicent's on sale. The Biotron's on sale. The Tesla glasses are on sale, and the Smart Guard for the phones are on sale. And I'm not allowed to put the structure units on sale. So anybody who buys a structure unit, because you may not know this, but this is scientifically documented, structure water is the only water that gets rid of EMF out of your blood, out of your fluids. So our structure units, they're on sale to the point that if you buy a structure unit, which is a natural action structure unit, I don't know if I have one here. Maybe they could bring one up. But it's a portable, or you can get a house unit. But the reality is we can give you a credit. We give you a store credit, okay, so that you can use it against other things, everybody. Okay, just so you know. Okay, how about this, Peter? Do you want to tell them what the bodyguard is for? This is Mina. She'd like you to go into detail what the bodyguard is for and what it can do, okay?
Yeah. Well, the bodyguard, it's a protector. It's a protector. It puts a shield around your body to neutralize any of the frequencies coming in from radar, satellites, TV, microwaves, GPS. There's millions of radio and TV. All that stuff is coming in, and our body is not really wasn't meant to deal with all the man-made frequencies coming into it. So we've been able to put this shielding around your body, and it's if you get one of those little finger meters and put the oxygen meter on it. I have one that you just clip on your finger, and it'll give you an oxygen reading in your blood, and it'll be running 98, 99, 100% all the time, and so with high oxygen in your blood, it stimulates your immune system because it keeps your immune system healthy. We also have a frequency in that it turns clockwise. It's like a figure eight. It goes 1/2 positive, then it pauses. That's when nutrients go in the cell and waste come from the cell, and then it goes the opposite way. And the reason we do that is because half of the minerals and vitamins that we consume a positive spin, and the other half a negative spin. So you need to allow that polarity to reverse so that nutrient can be absorbed into the bloodstream. So it's helping you to get waste out of your body, out of your blood, and of course the other elements we're putting in are vitamins and minerals and amino acids, and to help to support everything in our body. So yeah, it's a health. It's to keep your body healthy, and but again, a lot of people are having sleeping problems, and that can be tied back to a mineral deficiency like magnesium. And I think a lot of people are now realizing we're all deficient in magnesium and should take a magnesium supplement. And particularly if you do take it before you go to bed, it does definitely help you to get a better night's sleep. So the pendant is something you can I wouldn't wear it overnight. We have people wearing it overnight.
I wear
but you
mine.
can,
I wear mine every night.
yeah,
Never take
you
it
can,
off.
yeah, no. I lay mine on the night table beside. So, but again, you can go swimming with it on. You can go through X-rays with it on. You can go through the check-in at the airport, the radar there, and it does not um, lose its strength. It's
But what
always
it does do is it harmonizes and protects you from all of these toxic frequencies at the same time. It doesn't stop their frequencies from doing what they want to do, but it harmonizes the energy around you. Understand, these crystals do not block, okay? They harmonize. There's a difference. Because if they totally blocked, you'd never ever get a phone call. So we're not trying to block, we're trying to harmonize, right, Peter? Can you explain that?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you can wear them and use GPS in your car, and it still works just the same. What it does, it takes off the harmful effects on the human body. That's what it's there for. The rest of all the electronics and everything in your home will still work the same. So yeah.
I've got another thing here, Peter, if it's okay, and I want to. I always.
Yeah.
I want to try to answer everything important. And this is Nancy. No, it isn't Nancy. It's Joanne. Can you make these crystals affordable, Nancy? We've got a 15% off on them this week, and understand something. Peter will tell you, and if you can trust him. Maybe you can't trust me, but the reality is this: is we're using the most expensive crystal on the market, and then they use a glass blower, and trust me, he is one of the best ever. And the reality is, if you knew how much work it took to make these, and you have to understand, they never wear out. They never wear out, and they keep. If something changes or a new frequency is needed, it's added to everywhere, no matter where you are on the planet. So understand, these they're not. I don't think they're expensive for what they do. But I'm going to be honest with everyone. It doesn't matter how inexpensive we make something. There's always people going to say, "Can you make it cheaper?" Okay. The reality is we need to become more abundant in our thinking. And I'm going to tell you, that's not going to happen until you become your authentic self and until you master your own mind. I mean, if you've got poverty consciousness, it doesn't matter how much of the price of anything is. You're always going to want it cheaper. And the reality is I get it. And if we could make them cheaper, we would. Hey, Peter, I mean, we had to put the price up because, believe it or not, you want to know who you need to go talk to? Why don't you go talk to Fauci? Why don't you go talk to Bill Gates? Because this whole thing that they've created, I'll just tell you something. Right now, I can't even get my love bands out of Vietnam where I get them made because they're going door to door doing the V on everybody, and people are only allowed out 2 hours twice a week to do their grocery shopping, okay? And it costs me to take 100,000 Braveheart love bands, that's what this is, okay? $300, okay, before the C thing started happening. And guess how much it cost me Peter, to get 100,000 love bands here as soon as the factory opens up again? $3,000 US, same shipment. So understand something, everyone. This is where it's going because we don't have backbone, because we say sorry too often, and we don't believe that we deserve. Well, you need to believe that you deserve and that you are abundant. You need to find your passion and purpose and become a gift to yourself, and then gift everybody else with your passion and purpose. We need to come together as an earth family, a spirit family, don't we, Peter?
We do, and we've looked at all these different forms of glass or crystal. We use Pyrex. It would not hold a frequency at all. You could buy glass cheap from China, but it's so full of lead that you're going to be getting lead in your body, and that's not good too. So we buy the purest crystal out of Germany, and of course it's expensive because you have to ship it all the way over to Canada, and then the people making them, they are artisans that make this stuff, and running those furnaces at 2,000 degrees, it's like white. Is the heat in there? Like, I wouldn't want to be making glass today. It's with about 40 Celsius with the humidex, and they have to shut down the furnaces because the people can't work in there. So they certainly we're not in this ourselves to make a pile of money. We're just wanting to help people. Our mission is to help as many people as we can, and that's what we're doing. And we make it as affordable as we can. So that's where it go. Okay.
I have another question, Peter, and if you don't mind me answering this, I'm going to. And it kind of related. There's two of them. This one's from Carol, not from Carol. The other one was lady back further. Okay, she says, if you've got infinite iodine in the crystal, then I don't need to take my infinite iodine. Yes, you do. Infinite iodine neutralizes a virus in 15 seconds. So when you spray that on the back of your throat, 5 sprays a day, whether it be once a day, twice a day, depending on where your thyroid and parathyroid is, then you're neutralizing infection. The iodine then turns into iodide and goes to your parathyroid, thyroid. If you've got a thyroid problem, you want to get the iodide product we have and spray that. Here's what it does. The frequency that Peter has in there, it helps to hold your thyroid more steady, your parathyroid more steady, your hormones more steady. But the reality is we still need the raw product to come in, okay? Next question is, I have a gentleman who says, I just stopped smoking and I have a ton of phlegm coming out. Understand something. And he asks if the bodyguard will help. Well, yes, it'll help. Frequencies are always going to help. But if I just stopped smoking, I would take the infinite iodine, which is right here, okay? There's the infinite iodine, everyone. Take the infinite iodine, take 1 part infinite iodine, and then take 3 parts structured water, put it into a nebulizer, and then nebulize, and guess what? Do you know what that'll do? It won't just disinfect. It helps to restore the tissue. We have people that have had from COPD all the way to cancer nebulizing and turn their situation around. So as far as that goes, I would suggest that you do that. What do you think, Peter?
Yeah, that's why I touched on it earlier. By putting in these frequencies, they support the product that you're taking to make them really more effective. And really, that's what it's all about. The best, to give you the best possible protection against. But certainly the bodyguard is going to be delivering these into the cells, especially again, another element you're probably lacking is iron. You know, we're talking iodine, but iron is another major element within the blood of the human body. And so, but now being able to help to rid the body of all the molds and funguses that we are exposed to. I mean, they're coming out of the filters on air conditioners. In your car, there's filters that get molds in them, and in your home. But the environment, especially the outside environment, trees and plants, they're all carrying a lot of funguses and molds on them. So this is something that we've just brought into the system, and to me, it's doing a great job. Yeah. So we're not going to be late anymore. Okay, Daryl?
Yep. Margaret says, imagine you are surrounded by a bubble of beautiful yellow light. This is what she says about wearing the bodyguard, I guess.
Well, one of the things we have done just recently is put in a lot of purple light. That is basically what they call the Christ light. So that is a very calming and healing light to put in everything. And the frequency, it doesn't matter what color the pendant is, it's still going to emanate those the frequencies of the different lights that we put into it. And white, and we've just increased the white light in everything. And white light, again, is the spiritual light of the human body. So it's yeah, everything is to get, and of course, the other thing I was looking for was peace. We put in a frequencies of peace and tranquility. And you, again, I will say it, everything on this planet has a frequency. So it may sound strange to the layperson, but ask somebody in radionics and they will understand if you can put peace and tranquility frequencies into your body, and it calms you, it gives you that warm feeling. Okay?
Peter, what is the difference? Pamela wants to know, what is the difference between the Guardian and the Defender? And I'll show people both of them before you talk about it, okay? So there they are. One's green and one's blue. You can see they're the largest of the ones that we carry.
Yeah.
So do you want to tell them what the Guardian is, which is the green one?
Yeah. The green one was primarily designed for plants, but because chlorophyll is green, and chlorophyll is the closest thing to human blood in the plant world. So so we're putting that, and plants really respond. Not only do the people and the animals, but the plants respond tremendously when you put this energy into your home or on your property. And a lot of people, well, most people tell us if they got a backyard, they've never seen so many birds and squirrels and other animals coming into that backyard, because they feel the energy, and they don't have the fear of something happening to them. So going on to the for soil and agriculture, we're using the green one for the chlorophyll, but some farms that we are putting one of each on to get the extra oxygen. The blue, royal blue, is the color of oxygen, and that increases the oxygen in the environment, so it gets rid of a lot of the molds and that can form in basements and carpets and this kind of thing. So it is. We've had them. They have an energy to get the extra oxygen. Yeah.
I didn't say anything.
No, it's a feedback. I don't know where it came from.
All right.
Okay. What's happening is some lag in time, I think, between the video and what I'm saying.
Connie wants to know, does the Guardian need to be placed on the ground, or can it be on an outside table? And does it have to be outside?
No, it can. The best place for it is in the home. You can put it in a cabinet with your glassware. You can put it on the dining room table. Anywhere in the home you can put it, and it will go out and energize all your property up, like I said, up to 80 acres. But if you've only got 15 or 5 or 2 acres even, it'll just stay within your boundary or your property line. So it doesn't stray off on anybody else's property.
Thank you. I have a question from Corliss. Corliss, this is a little off topic, but she says she's got a 2-year-old getting COVID. If you don't mind, I'm going to answer her. Boil some water, make a liter quart of it. Just put the smallest little pinch of cayenne in. Put 1 tablespoon to 2 tablespoons of raw honey. Put in 1 lemon to 2 lemons squeezed, okay? All right? And then have her sip on this throughout the day. And you're going to check with, when children have this problem, you need to get infinite iodine and get them to nebulize that and have them take it in. We already know that infinite iodine will neutralize a virus in 15 seconds, no more. That's it. So you're going to clean out her lungs, but it's also going to go into her bloodstream. Spray infinite iodine on the back of her throat. If she's a young child, maybe 3 sprays 3 times a day, 4 times a day, 5 times. There's no toxic value. Where like Nacean iodine, Lugol's iodine, it can be toxic and it can throw your hormones out of balance, your thyroid out of balance. This can never do it. No matter how much you take or little you take, you can't damage yourself. So I'd be doing that. Get her off of all mucus-forming foods. No inflammation. Oh, honey, you've been so well here. Let me give mommy some ice cream for you to help your throat. You're going to make the problem worse. Okay? So no inflammatory foods. And understand something. you'll always find when a child is getting the cold and flu, because that's all it is, okay, is that her bowels have been slower for the last few days. If you get her bowels moving and you were to do a warm water enema with tummy love in it, you would bring down any type of infection, fever, inflammation. She would turn around so fast, so fast. Children will do that quick. If I had children today, I'd have them on daily cleansing tea every day, okay? I would have them doing Sinonian minerals. It has 150 different nutrients in it. It's the most packed one a day you can get, okay? And I'd have them taking humic too, because humic encapsulates every virus. If a child does 1 teaspoon of concentrated liquid humic in water and drinks that each day, they can't get any type of virus. Do your homework. You'll find this out if you even go to PubMed, okay, .gov, and these are all scientific articles. But Tummy Love, okay, has 75% humic, 25% fulvic to bring down the acidity. But get those bowels moving and watch how fast your child gets well. And then make sure that you're giving your child nice hot soups, you know, a little bit of hot to them, right? Soups and steamed vegetables and things of that name. Maybe some sweet potato, but don't give anything hard to digest or inflammatory. What do you think, Peter?
Well, that's true. Yeah, especially the dairy part of it. It's not the best thing. You know, your structured water would be with some of these elements in it would be great for the moving. You've got to get the whole body hydrated. Hydration is one of the things that we least think about, but it's something that we have to consider, because the more you keep hydrated, the better. And of course, the other thing is fiber, getting some good quality fiber. I don't know, I use flax meal and psyllium fiber, but I mean, that stuff keeps the tubes working.
Mary asks, how does the guardian know where our property line ends and begins? Peter Webb said it stays only on your property line.
Well, in radionics, there is a law written that you cannot put your frequencies onto other people's property without their permission. And so it's programmed into the everything we make. It has that programmed into it, so it does not go through the wall into your neighbor's apartment or through the fence into your neighbor's garden. It stays strictly in your garden. And we've had people going out with dowsing rods checking, and they will say, yep, it doesn't go any further in your property line. It's something that's so simple, it's hard to really get a handle on it.
Corliss says, and this is a little off topic again, but Corliss, she says, Dr. Wolf, I didn't say that the little girl has COVID. What if she gets it? It's on the rise again. I want everybody to understand something. Colds and flus have been around since the beginning of time. If you didn't have viruses in your body, you wouldn't even be alive. Now, people will have too many viruses because they are too inflamed, because, first of all, they haven't mastered their own thoughts. Somebody else is doing all their thinking, so they're making very toxic decisions all the time. Whether you're thinking, drinking, or eating, the majority of the population is doing that, because 92% of the population has an autoimmune disease, which means the body's attacking itself, which means you had to be attacking yourself first and foremost. Next thing is this. COVID is not on the rise. Okay, liar, liar, pants on fire. It's not on the rise, and it is not on the rise. So the reality is this. So we know you watch the news, and we know that you listen to everyone else who watches the news. And understand, a cold and a flu, if we didn't have colds and flus, when we become toxic, we would die. So we have to have a cold and flu to get rid of the toxins. It's got to come out one orifice or the other, the eyes, the nose, the mouth, the ears, the vagina, the rectum. The toxins have to come out. So the more toxic you are on an emotional level and a physical level, the more that you're going to have to get rid of infection. And understand something, viruses make us stronger. They don't kill us. And the reality is, I don't care. People aren't intelligent. You think human beings are intelligent? You're only as smart as the beliefs that are in your head. You're only as dumb as the beliefs in your head. You're only as healthy as the beliefs in your head. And you're only as sick as the beliefs in your head. And understand something. Frequency is everything, and every image you have of yourself and the world and everything that they say out there creates what? Every image creates a thought. Every thought creates a frequency. Every frequency creates a hormone or chemical that gets dumped. And if it started off as a negative image, it's going to end up that way. I don't care. You put me in a room with 10,000 COVID people, and I'll be right in the center, and they can sneeze, cough, they can do whatever they want, and they can all be vaccinated twice, and it will not affect a healthy human being. But to find a healthy human being, you'd have to find somebody that actually loved, honored, and respected themselves unconditionally. Someone that didn't live with guilt, someone that didn't live with fear, someone that didn't feel they were a failure, someone that said, this is my life, I'm taking it back, and I have a right to breathe and understand something. Nothing has changed in the last 2 years except something up here. And if this changes and it goes to the negative side, then your life is going to be upside down, inside out, and backwards, and that's proven over and over again. And why don't you talk to the people or do the research on the people that actually are real scientists? Why does your research come from the majority of the population that doesn't think, drink, eat, or even live right? There, that's my answer. What do you think, Peter?
Well, I know one thing that if you go onto a farm and there's a dog there, and if you're scared of the dog, he'll come after you and bite you. But if you sit down and you say, come on, buddy, he'll just come over wagging his tail. So they can feel or smell. I don't know how they do it. If there's fear there, you're vulnerable to that dog. He's going to come after you. So that's one of the things hey, another one is bulls. I mean, if you're not afraid of them, they don't bother you. But if you're scared, they'll be right after you. So I've seen people that go in a barn that don't like cows, and every cow try to kick them. So the animals can pick up on fear, and so it's everything is emotions and fears, and
everything is frequency.
All frequency.
It's all frequency. So anyways, yeah. I've got someone here, Gainer. You can go to store.docofdetox.com. That's where you're going to find all our products. Okay, that's where everything is that we're talking about today. And also the infinite iodine is there as well, okay? And if you're trying to reach us, they want to know offshore, you can call us on WhatsApp at 250-215-8004. Maybe we can put that up for them. Or you can call us on our Skype at DOD Helpline, okay? Or you can just order online. That's what you can do. Let me see. Peter, why don't you talk about some of the things you've seen with people that will wear the bodyguard, put the things into their home. Just tell some of the stories that you know, okay? And even from, let's talk about farm life to plant life to human life, okay? Just some of your stories.
Yeah. Well, we've came in contact with farmers that were doing the traditional farming of chemicals and that approach. And I've sat down with them and said, look, you can make more money by improving the quality of the forages and grains on your farm and not having to push the cows. And, so once we put in the Guardian or the Revitalizer box that we have, you immediately start seeing an improvement in the quality of food that we're producing. And so, it's nothing. We have, the average herds, we have some of them now that are 45 kilos. It's around 100 pounds of milk a day, which is exceptional without a high amount of expense of buying proteins and minerals. And if we can put it into the food that they're consuming, then you're actually getting more production at a lower cost and better health. You see, the whole thing is farmers have been taught to push. And when I was doing animal nutrition, we had some farms that had cows that were 16, 18, 19 years old and still producing milk. But today, under the modern technology, they're burning out after two years. They have to go to market because they're burned out. So, it becomes
Peter, they actually call it modern technology. It's called
yeah,
poisoning, Peter.
yeah, I
I know,
know.
but you see, we're just told, we're so programmed, right? Everybody is just so
Yeah,
programmed. The majority of the population is programmed to actually off themselves and off their family. So, I mean, they put all these words in our mouth, like modern technology.
yeah,
Basically, we poisoned the cows, so we burnt them out early, like we're doing to our families.
yeah. We had a cucumber farmer that came to us, and he was getting 15 ton of cucumbers an acre with 40 applications of pesticide. Go back 3 years, he's now getting 36 ton an acre and no pesticides. So this is where the and the same as poultry. By being able to remove a lot of these molds and funguses and heavy metals out of the feed that they're getting, the birds stay healthier. We Everywhere where we have our um, guardians or defenders in, these birds have got all their feathers at the end of the laying session because a chicken is born, it has all the eggs in it that it'll ever produce. And after they're laid all the eggs, and they have no more to produce. So, but normally they have hardly any feathers on them. And but again, I just got an email this morning from a farmer wanting me to help him to restore his land back to um, where it be healthy soil again. So we'll work with him, telling him what he has to do, um, we try to do everything online now. So we'll give him advice on
On
what
how
minerals
to
have to go
create
on and
harmony.
harmony, and yeah, and the other thing we've got, because it's been so dry, we've been putting frequencies now to harvest the morning dew. So in the morning, there's always a dew on the grass and the
Right.
vegetables and crops. So we are now able to harvest that into the plant and put it back down in the soil. And then it'll be help to support those plants through the dry times. But the other thing, most corn that comes off these farmers' fields have a nutritional value. It was we go by bushel weight. So 50 to 65 pounds a bushel is what you'd normally get under normal agriculture. But we have farmers now that are 75 to 80 pounds a bushel. This is nutrient dense grain. I mean, it's the nutrient density is there. And this is what we need to do to get into all the food that we consume. When I was a kid growing up, apples, you could store them for all through the winter and they would stay good. But now there is no nutrition in them, and they just literally go bad so quick. Even lettuces and stuff you buy, it doesn't have a shelf life like it used to. So people want to go back to the basics and start producing food that is nutritional and healthy, and your body don't need as much of it. It's you're getting all the calories that you need. So yeah, it's then
Yeah.
of course the water is another thing, to be able to keep the water oxygenated, and that keeps all the water on the farm. It doesn't matter whether it's in the well, in the ponds, or even in the water tanks in the barns where the cattle drink. Those tanks stay pristine clean because of higher oxygen in the water. And of course,
Because of the guardian.
Yeah, the Guardian. Yeah,
And
yeah,
about the Guardian, Mary Jane wants to know: will the Guardian protect against mold in the house?
yeah. It does. Yeah, yeah. Now it's if you got a air conditioner or something, it would be wise to go in and take this filter out and wash it out and keep that clean rather than recycling the mold that's in that filter.
Lisa says, oh wait, how can I access? Lisa, if you go to docofdetox.com, you should be able to access. You might have to restart your computer or go to store.docofdetox.com, okay? And just so I let everybody know, I've been having a few people ask me this. I'll be on tomorrow at 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. I'll be going live on Facebook, but if you want to join for questions, if you've got questions about Extapa World Training and Healing Center, because we're moving there and we've got 220 condos there, and we're going to be opening up a healing center. We got people coming for anywhere from a week to a year. We've got people already have left there, and they're there before me, believe it or not. But we have a complete healing center there where we're going to be showing the world how to heal. Anyways, I'll be on at 3 o'clock tomorrow Pacific Standard Time. And if you go to www.newworldpractitioner.com and you log in there, you'll get a Zoom link, and then you can come on and then you can ask questions tomorrow. I'll be talking about everything from our personal treatment and trainings for families and couples to our certifications to coming down for treatment or just coming down to live there and get it out of the craziness of where you do live, okay? We're creating a whole community down there, everybody, okay? I'm looking for practitioners that want to come down, and whether they do things online or they want to set up and get an office, because we are going to fill up 220 rooms of people coming there consistently, because we are creating a whole different foundation of healing where we train people. We'll treat them, but where we're going to train them how to do what we do so they can go home and become the light for their family. Okay, let me see here. Okay, how does this work on dogs? Jennifer wants to know. Can I put one on my dog? Bodyguard.
Yeah, we've got a lot of people that have bought them for pets, particularly dogs. My advice would be to use some electrical tape and tape it to the collar rather than let it swing back. Since we've had some of them, dogs get pretty rowdy. They run through bushes and all kinds of things. And if it's hanging on an eye of the collar, it gets beaten up. So it'll work just the same if you put it on the collar and then put some tape around it so the dog can't lose it. Because we've had one occasion where the loop broke off because the dog was, I guess, being dogs, running through bushes and stuff. But no, it has a really calming effect on your dogs, and they will respond immediately to the quieter atmosphere.
Good. Jim, I'm just going to answer this question. It was kind of long, but Jim, I'm going to tell you something right now. No, I'm not worried. I'm not worried about people with the spike protein. Healthy people do not have to worry. If you're an unhealthy person, that's probably true. And the other thing, I'm going to tell you something. Yes, I know that they've been saying that people who have had the vaccine once, they could be in jeopardy of losing their life. And if they had it twice, it's even going to go up higher. I hear all that. But the reality is this. Everything's about frequency. Everything's about health. So everything is a statistic until you no longer want to be a statistic. We are going to be doing things in Extapa that are going to unravel the jab, unravel this whole thing. All right? Understand, we are spirit beings first and foremost. I have a device that's called a Cellsonic. Go on my website and check it out. We're also going to be doing ionic calcium infusions. We're going to be doing a lot of other things there that we don't do in Canada that we can do there, okay? And I've got also one of the top doctors in the world that will be doing the blood testings there and teaching that as well. We have people coming from all over the world to create the strongest army, okay, of Bravehearts, okay? Can I have a newborn. I don't want to put it on my newborn. Should I put it around her ankle, or can I hang it on her baby crib?
You can hang it, yeah, hang it where the child can't get a hold of it. Again, um, it could be put anywhere. You could put it on the back of the crib, or excuse me, you could actually put it. It'd be the better place would be under the mattress, or under the sheets or something, so that the child's laying on it but can't get a hold of it. That would be the most appropriate place to keep it. Okay.
Right. Okay. Jody, I've got the red Defender. I believe it's called the Defender. The one you keep, no, it's actually a protector. You keep in your house. It's called a protector, Jody. When I looked it up online, it didn't specify which ones were used for what. So what is the red one used for? Well, you want to talk about it, Peter? Go ahead, my friend.
Well, it's just the color. Some people like red and some people like green or blue. So it's just they're all programmed the same, so they're all emitting the same frequencies. Although some people say it helps with the sexuality of humans, and you probably could expand on that better than I can.
All right. The next thing I will tell you is, if somebody want me to talk about structured water here, I'm not going to do it here on the show, but and also the Tesla glasses. I just did 2 shows, guys, on Saturday and Sunday, and I did on Saturday. We did about the Teslas with the scientist out of Switzerland. So please go check that. Do you know what was that called, Sean? So they can look it up. Well, if you do me a favor, everyone, if you go to store.docofdetox.com, go to EMF /energy, and you're going to see all the Crystal Life products. You're going to see the Tesla glasses. You're going to see the Avicen. You're going to see the Bioptron. You're going to see the Smart Guard there. And then if you go to structured water, you'll see all the structured water units. That's everything that we have on this sale, okay? And if you go take a look in the library, you can go look at what structured water is. You can watch the videos about Dr. Gerald Pollack talking about how 4th phase water is the most healing water. Okay, and Peter knows all about structured water, and he believes in it heavily because structured water, it has the lowest surface tension, gets rid of the memory of everything that's been in it, and you're actually protected even if there's still chemical in it or bacteria. When you structure, you create the invisible protection. Am I right, Peter?
Yeah, you're right. It's structured water. It makes it more slippery, and it can deliver. It hydrates the body more efficiently, and that's the whole thing. It can move the waste away from the cells, and it improves your blood consistency. The body is 75% or more water, so it just benefits everything. But yeah, structured water, we've been using that for years, even to the point of in cleaning lakes and reservoirs with it. So, but it's a smaller molecule, and it can carry the oxygen and everything right into the cells. It's you see, if you take regular city water under a dark field microscope, it's all clumpy. Where structured water is like looking at a starry sky. It's just beautiful, all little bright. It's full of light and energy. So, yeah, it has a lot of benefits, and everything benefit plants, animals, people. It's just one of the magic things, and we've been working with it for years. So, anyway, that's the best way I can explain it.
Well, Peter, what should we leave people with? What would you like to leave them with today?
Well, my vision is that we help people to look forward and look to health and forget about the viruses and stuff. Just our whole idea is to get people healthier so they can enjoy life. They can enjoy everything that is around us. I mean, there's so much good stuff, like you walk in and you see the trees or the flowers or animals playing, children playing. it lightens your whole body, and you just feel, uplifted. And yeah, it that would be my take on it. Like, I know we are putting in the frequencies that we hope to lengthen life, which is something that, you know don't ever think about when you're a certain age you're getting old. It's all a state of mind. You got to stay positive, young thinking. Like, I'm always looking for the future and what I can do, and it could be, it's going to be exciting. Forget about all the other drama. That I know the COVID thing has been like an anvil around our necks, and the sooner we can shake that off and get moving, the better. Okay, that's my mission, to help you guys to get feeling happier and enjoying life, and just what's around you. It's stuff that don't have to cost money, like going for a walk in the park and enjoying the fresh air and the trees and the plants, and hearing children laughing. Is all this kind of thing is really good for us, and this is what I want to see come back again. I want to see people happy and laughing. Okay?
Absolutely. And
Thank you.
I like how you said, Peter, about the anvil around the neck, because guess what? That's all COVID was meant to be, was an anvil around the neck, so that when you went swimming out in life, you just go and drown. And that's what you're drowning. You're drowning in negativity. You're drowning in their BS, dysfunctional belief systems. I don't believe a word they say. Not a word they say. And understand something, and Peter doesn't have to back me up, but he can if he wants. If you were to create the perfect day on an emotional and a nutritional level, now emotional meaning unconditional love for yourself and everybody in the world, okay? And on a nutritional level, looking at food and saying, will this feed me or will this poison me? Guess what? Nothing's going to be able to touch you. And when you understand that you were created by that which created the whole universe, and that's what created the whole universe loves you beyond love, and that these cycles have taken every book, every writing, every story, and made it their story to try to dumb us down and make us live in fear, and they stupefied us. And you know what? They stupefied us. They dumbed us down, and we've got to come back. You've got to come back to the present moment, come back to your breathing, and then start holding the line. How would you act today if you totally loved and honored and respected yourself? What do you think, Peter?
Well, this is true. You've got to hold your head up high and walk like you're not being burdened by all this stuff. I know Nancy said, well, what were you going to do? Well, I said, let's go down to the locks and sit and watch the boats go through the locks. It's just you go away and you enjoy, being away from your home, and just, like I said, you could go to a pond and feed the ducks, or they'll love you going to feed the ducks or geese or whatever. So, yeah, just there's so many things we can do now that we don't have to have a cell phone in our hand or anything. And this is where people have to start talking to each other and showing their emotions towards each other, and enjoying more. It doesn't cost anything. It's just laughter. And when we grew up, they used to have comedies on TV like Laurel and Hardy. You'd get a big, and when you laugh, hey, the more you laugh, the less chance you are of having any disease, because laughter heals your body. And that would be my take on everything, Daryl.
Thank you, Peter. God bless you, my friend. Give my love to Nancy, and thank you for all the brilliant work you've done. And Peter, you know what? Everybody go take a look at the shows I did with Peter, like even a year and a half ago. And Peter looks younger. You do, Peter. You look younger.
Well, I really feel younger now. And of course, I want to live to be I've got a long way to go. And I see no reason why we can't. I'm sure with this radionics that we're doing now to extend life and health, it's going to make a difference. And of course, as we move along, as they keep bombarding us with more frequencies, we just keep on coming up with ways of absorbing them and neutralizing them and carrying on with our lives.
Thank you, Peter. God bless you, my friend.
Yeah.
God
Thank
bless.
you. Yep. Yep. Bye now.
Bye now. So there you go, right out of the mouth of Peter Webb, that we live in a life-threatening, fun-filled adventure, long as you know the rules. Because guess what? You got to get this. It's like people are going right now. All of a sudden, people are waking up to the fact that somebody's out to get us. No, they've been always out to get us. They poison the water, they poison the air, they poison the food. But the reality is, don't take it personal, guys. Don't take it personal. And you also don't need approval to love yourself. You need to just do it. You need to love yourself, honor yourself. Have you taken a look in the cupboards? Have you looked in the fridge? Have you looked the way you talk to yourself? Do you look the way you talk to your family? Do you offer unconditional love to yourself? Do you offer that for your family? Are you taking massive personal action? Please dive into my library, okay? Doc of Detox Library. Just click on library. Go in there, take a look at the 4 pillars of the perfect day. Go in there and watch how to become number 1 at the art of number 2. Go take a look at the emotional chemistry of cancer, disease, and healing. Start doing your own research, because until you become your own practitioner, until you find your authentic self, until you uncover and discover your unlimited potential as a human spirit, okay, then they're going to rule, school, and fool you. You're going to be running around, being everyone else, doing everything else, and that's got to stop. Stop talking about COVID. We have nothing else going on that's different than 2 years ago, except everybody's hitting hysteria. Nobody's thinking, okay? And get ready, because this fall, it's not trick or treat for Halloween. It's only tricks that they've got, okay? Understand something. They've been poisoning us since the beginning. They get you to feed your children tons of sugar so you rot their teeth out. Then you send them to the dentist and they put mercury in your children to poison them and dumb them down. Seriously. I mean, they strategize. Why don't you strategize? From the minute you wake up until you go to bed. You men out there, find your testicles, find your spine, okay, and start protecting your home and your wife and your children, and get off the dang couch. And that's the bottom line. Because this is going to be the hardest year for most people since they've been alive. Okay? They did round 1, round 2, and round 3, it's the knockout. And they're coming to lock it down, and it's all just a case of pretend. So why don't you pretend to be the Braveheart hero of this story? Why don't you pretend to be the light for your family? Give that a thought. And understand, I'm not upset. I just want you to know that I love you. I love everybody. You can't go around hating anyone. That's the poison pill. You got to love everyone. There's 1,500 different religions. No, there isn't. We were all created by God Almighty, and we better start acting like it. We better come together as a world family. Anyways, tomorrow, Tuesday, August the 10th, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, I'll be on with microcirculation, talking about why microcirculation. It will decide how long you live and what you're actually going to pass from on this life. Okay, so microcirculation is the most important thing, not telomeres, not genetics. The whole genetic thing is a bunch of BS anyways. Any doctor that wants to come on and debate me anytime, I'm here. So understand that. And if you call, Sean, if they call, will I go on with them and debate them on any topic?
Absolutely.
Any topic. So put your mouth where your money is, because I know that I'm the only practitioner I know that gives a money back on certifications, treatment and trainings and treatments. And we do all of that. We'll do it with consultations as well. And we do consultations all over the world. We do an average of 50 to 75 consultations a week all over the world to people with unlimited support for only $150. And we give them a 300-page manual to learn about their body and about how to eat and making meals and how to assess each one in the family, what your poop should really look like, your skin, what your breath should smell like. Let me tell you something. 99.9% of you know nothing about health. You think you're healthy because you compare yourself to the other 99.9% of you, which know nothing about health. Because we've been programmed that way. They gave us a manual and said, follow this manual so that you can be milked of your money and then sold off by the pound. And don't tell me that we haven't been. So when are we going to wake up? When are we going to take it back? When do you matter? When does your health matter? When does questions matter? And guess what? There is no authority over you, and there never will be on this planet. So the day that you understand that, and you will never have health until you become your own practitioner. Wednesday, I will be on at August the 11th, 5 a.m. The calcium ion Calcium Ions in Cancer with Jay Lee, part 1. And then again on, hold on a second here. So I will be on at, when is that? Wednesday, oh yeah, at 5 a.m. And then I'll be back on Wednesday again. We're going to repeat it. Then at 10 a.m. on Wednesday, I'll be back on with Thomas Muehlbauer talking about microcirculation, and we'll be doing a Q&A. And then on Thursday, we're going to be doing part 2 of the ion calcium connection with cancer, part 2. And that'll be on at 5 a.m. in the morning. And then Friday, we're going to be playing 5G blue light toxicity, because this week is our blue light 5G sale, as you already know. Okay, the Doc of Detox birthday sale. And look, if you want to get our newsletter, then go to itoh.com and put your email in, and you'll be getting on our newsletter. If you want to follow me and watch the videos that I can't play on Facebook, the ones that are controversial, the ones that are the God's given truth, then go to Telegram, t.me/the Doc of Detox. If you're interested in coming to Ixtapa Palace, World Healing and Training Center, whether you want to come down and just, hey, listen, hang out, $45 a night, you get to stay at a resort, okay? All right, that's how inexpensive that is. And the warmest water to swim in, okay? You can go to, on Telegram, you can go to
your left shoulder.
Ixtapa Training, okay? Go to Ixtapa Training on Telegram. And if you want to join us tomorrow at 3 o'clock live on Facebook, but if you sign in to www.newworldpractitioner.com, you can come on Zoom, because we'll send you a link and you can ask questions. I'm going to be showing you the resort. I'm going to show you what we're going to be doing in the way we're going to feed you, the way we're going to treat you, how we're going to get together by the fire at night, how we're going to get together at the pool in the morning, how we're going to be doing our certifications and trainings. Our first certification training is October the 9th, and it runs for a full 28 days. You can leave after 22 if you want, because the next 6 days we get together in the morning and at night. You have the rest of the day off, and it's to help to solidify your business or the thoughts in your mind to make sure when you go home that you live your passion and your purpose. Then we're going to be having another course on November the 9th. So those are the first 2 courses. And then we have 3 more coming, January, February, and March. Okay, and then we're going to be doing, guess what? We're introducing we're going to be doing trainings online. Let's say if you had a knee problem, we're going to show you how to work on your own knee and get it well. Why are we doing this? Because if they lock us down, we're going to get you busy, and we're going to prove that the intelligent practitioner is you'll be able to reverse your knee problem, hip problem, ankle problem, wrist problem. We're going to show you how to do that. We're going to come online and we're going to show people how to start taking their lives back. Until you become your own practitioner, then you're going to be going from treatment to treatment. Just know that we're also on BitChute, Rumble, Telegram, right? And that's where we play everything plus the things we can't play here, okay? I want to thank everybody for joining me, and just know this, okay? Your beliefs make and shape you. If you don't like your reality, then guess what? You're not really your personality. You're someone else doing something else. You'll know when you're your own personality because you'll stand in your power. You'll be able to live in the present moment. Nobody will be able to get a reaction out of you. No one's going to be able to push your pain buttons. Nobody's going to be able to throw you off track anymore. And that's what I teach. So even if you don't want to become a practitioner, think about coming down to Ixtapa and hanging out with me. Think about coming down to Ixtapa and take my whole life coach certification. Because when you finish that 9 days, nobody's going to jerk you around ever again. Because the only reason why they can do it is because you were programmed from the minute you got here. Okay? From 0 to 7, 70 to 90% of all your programs were made. And they say that 70% of them are negative programs. They're not even you. Tell me that's not true. And I'll tell you it is true. But understand, be true blue to you, okay? Find your Braveheart roar. 3, 2, 1. You got this. God bless everybody.
Let's welcome up Dr. Wolf to the stage. Give him a big round of applause because he deserves it.
It's that time, Bravehearts. That's right, it's time for us to come together as one voice and unleash our Braveheart roar. Join me for the most powerful, life-saving, life-changing 45-minute presentation of my career. The emotional chemistry of cancer, disease, and healing at the Gaylord Opry Resort and Convention Center in Nashville, Tennessee at the Truth About Cancer Live Symposium with no other than Ty and Charlene Bollinger and 60 other world-renowned speakers. Together, let's uncover and discover our true authentic selves. The real practitioner from within, because the only healthcare is self-care, which can only be turned on by self-love. Become the answer you seek. This is the only truth about cancer. Join our Braveheart Nation and unleash your Braveheart roar. God bless. So what is a New World Practitioner? Well, a New World Practitioner is somebody that understands that training comes before treatment.
Have I noticed any changes in myself since taking this course? Oh, yes. Yes, I have. I definitely have.
There's so much more ahead of you, and there's so much more that you can find within yourself, and there's so much that you can let go of to free yourself. And I'm excited to be able to help others find their power.
It's not a treatment. It's like a restoration. You can renew your body. And I didn't understand what was preventing me from healing.
I guess this is where I kind of get emotional, because Daryl truly cares, not only for himself, but humanity in general, and he wants to educate people to live their best lives and learn to love themselves first before anybody else.
The Whole Life Coach certification. We go deeper in that 8 days than anybody else goes when it comes to learning how the invisible creates the physical, the psychological creates the biological. And we teach you about energy medicine and about vibration and frequency, because that's all it is.
He really cares for everybody. He wants to educate as many people as he can, their own healers / practitioners. He wants to get the knowledge out.
Dr. Wolf and the whole crew, Sage and his bodywork techniques, learning it. Everybody here has just been so incredible. They're so supportive. It's been a really cool experience.
I've seen nothing but incredible results day after day, hour by hour, while they work on people who get finally the effect and results that they've looked for everywhere else and never got. So they're amazing, amazing.
On a daily thing, I'm becoming more flexible and more pain-free. It's a process of treatments because of the damage I've done to my body. But yeah, I expect to be doing backflips. You know, I'm 64 years old, I'll be doing backflips.
When it comes to the Wolf non-surgical certification, nobody can pull fibroids apart or reverse joint, muscle, tendon, ligament problems or scar tissue from surgery quicker than we can. And we offer a money-back guarantee to all our patients. Now, why would we do that? Because we pull off the I am possible and we reverse the irreversible.
They're so professional, yet so fun. They know how to push you to your limit. They encourage you, so it's all positive training, and really every one of them has a piece that they offer to the business, and they don't miss things. They let you go to the next level.
To use my love and light to be in service of others, and that's part of healing, right? Where as my elbow is connecting to that skin, you know, I'm delivering my frequency to the person that's seeking that work. because I will always have the love and light inside me.
And a New World practitioner understands that you can't give what you're not. So until you understand that unconditional love and care for oneself is what you need to become so that you can give that to your patients, don't expect a different outcome than every other practitioner out there. And that's what we teach here, because you need to become what you want to see in all of your patients. Good day, I'm Dr. Darrell Wolf. Do you know why you or your friends or your family are struggling with their health? Well, because they've never been given a strategy. And every time they go to see a health practitioner, whether it's medical or natural, all they're doing is getting Band-Aids. What if we were able to create a strategy that you could create the perfect day from the minute you woke up until you went to bed, and then we continue to guide and support you along your journey as you grow, your program grows. And what if you only paid one price, and you had unlimited support and guidance for the rest of your life? That's called the Perfect Day Consultation.